Hi everybody. I just wanted to say a few words about opening up our psychic centers and the dangers that lie therein, and the importance of a divine wayshower to protect you during those moments, during your awakening process. So what I have come to realize is, okay, before I go into that, I need to tell you that I am not a religious person. And I do enjoy going to church from time to time, and I don't care what church it is. I use my own inner guidance to decide which church I'm going to go to, or a Buddhist meeting, or even a shamanic retreat, etc. I am not religious, but I do believe in Jesus and God. My vision of God, how I know God though, is quite a bit different than the way most people perceive God to be. And I will eventually one day do a video on that. But, so I'm not religious, and I'm not a churchgoer, but I do believe in Jesus, and I did accept Him as my Lord and Savior, and He has protected me and guided me throughout my life, even before I accepted Him. So I'm going to eventually talk about Doreen virtue, so I'm going to address very briefly ascended masters and angels, etc., because she does. So yes, I do believe in the ascended masters. I have had contact with some of them, but in a different way than most people see them, again, and angels. So my direct angel experience was a Jeep accident, and I had rolled my Jeep, and I did not have the top on it, and I was not wearing a seat belt. And as soon as it started to roll, I wondered if my life would flash before my eyes, like people say, and it did not. The only thing I thought of was, oh boy, this is it, because in an instant I realized that, I didn't have the hood on my Jeep, I wasn't wearing my seat belts, I was a goner. That's what I thought. And the Jeep rolled, my window was rolled up, which was a good thing, because it landed on the driver's side and it skidded along the pavement for several feet. So if my window hadn't been up, my whole side of my face would have been shaved off. So after it came to a stop, the first thought that came to me was, I have to get out of the Jeep and get to the side of the road, because it stopped in the middle of the road. And I thought, if a car comes around that curve, it's going to slam right into it. So I got out of my Jeep and I crawled over to the side of the road, and the first person within minutes after that came around that curve was on a motorcycle, and he was an off-duty EMT. So I was very lucky in that. So he took over the whole scenario and made all the necessary phone calls and directed traffic, etc. So it all turned out to be just fine. But the reason why I'm telling you that is because as I was sitting on the side of the road, dazed, I had this vision, and I saw myself laying on a table, and there were these really tall gold beings that were doing something to me while I was on the table. I think there were, 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And I looked and I was watching them, and I wondered, wow, who are they? What are they doing? And the immediate answer was, they are the angels of mercy ministering to you. And I just thought, oh, okay. And then I long story short, the technician at the hospital, the doctor at the hospital, etc., they were all really surprised that I was fine, that I had a couple of scrapes and that was it. And they did x-rays and everything, and they all told me that how amazed they were that I was, I didn't have anything wrong with me. I went to pick up my Jeep the following day from the tow yard, and the guy who gave me my Jeep was freaking out, and he said the reason why he was so surprised to see me was because he thought that the person that owned the Jeep must have died, because that's how messed up it was. So thank you, angels of mercy. Didn't think much about it anymore after that. And a couple of weeks later, I was skimming through channels on the TV, and I came across Sylvia Browne. I had heard of her, never had any desire to read her books, never watched anything about her. This was in, I think it was 2000 or 2001. And I stopped on her channel because I heard this woman describing the same golden beings that I had seen. And she hadn't seen them, but her child had, her son, and he had some kind of an accident. But he was okay. And he was telling his mother that he had seen these golden angels, these beings. And the woman was telling Sylvia Browne about it. And Sylvia Browne very nonchalantly says, "Oh yeah, those are the angels of mercy." And she goes on to talk about them. And I'm like, my jaw drops open. Really? That was real? I really saw those angels. But it was like, that was the biggest confirmation that I got about angels and their existence. And I didn't see them like I see another human being or my dogs or my cats laying around here, but in a vision, in an etheric, psychic kind of way. But the woman on Sylvia Browne's channel, documentary or whatever was going on, described exactly what I had seen. And Sylvia Browne called them the angels of mercy, which was what I had been told that they were. They were the angels of mercy ministering to me. So, yes, ascended masters, yes. Angels, yes. Demons, yes. And they will all come to you. And the angels and the ascended masters, they will try to help you. But the demons will also come, and the negative energies and the negative thoughts and the lost souls, the ghosts, people who died and have not left this earth plane yet. They will all come to you and tell you, the angels and the ascended masters are going to come to you and tell you that they're there to help you. And they'll tell you who they are. And those demons, etc., are going to come to you. And they're going to tell you who they are. And they're going to but they're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to lie to you. And they're going to say, oh yeah, we're so-and-so. We're this angel or that angel or this ascended master or that ascended master or this divine being or this ET or whatever. And we're here to help you. And I can do this for you and I can do that for you and we can and whatever. So the whole point is that how do you discern who to listen to and who to trust? That's why you need a divine wayshower. That's why you need a divine protector. And Jesus is the only one I know of personally that can do that. I'm not telling you to go get yourself saved and get rebaptized or baptized again or for the first time or whatever. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm telling you that's the way to stay safe. I want to touch briefly on Doreen virtue and tell you that I believe that she is being divinely guided and that she's helping people to find their way to Jesus so that they can be protected. Because the bottom line is that a lot of people are awakening. So your psychic senses are going to naturally open up. It's just a part of the process. That means that you are more vulnerable to demonic influences. And if it's, even if it's not demonic, it's negative, you are more vulnerable to that. And the only way you can be safe from that is to have a divine wayshower. And that's why I think that Sylvia again, that's why I think that Doreen Virtue is being divinely guided. And that is not the only reason why I think she's being divinely guided. One of the other reasons I think so is because I was led to watch one of her videos the other day to try and figure out what was going on with her. And in this video, she said several things that I had just received messages on that very day. So I knew I was supposed to see that video so that I could help people to understand that she is being divinely guided. She is, and she's not, my perception is that she is not denouncing the New Age, and she's not denouncing psychic experiences or the Ascended Masters or the angels, but she's saying to be careful because there are negative energies out there that will tell you whatever it is that you want to hear. And they can be pretty convincing too. So please don't be too hard on Doreen. I have never been a follower of hers. I don't know that much about her, and I understand people are upset because she did this whole divination deck with angel cards or whatever and said, take my classes and pay me lots of money and you'll get a certificate to be an angel card reader or whatever. I understand people are upset about that. And what I say about that is that take responsibility. If you bought into Doreen's angel card thing, etc., then take responsibility for your decision to do that. She did not twist anybody's arm. If she led you astray with that, then you still have to take responsibility for your decision to follow that. She's not responsible for you following her down that path. Will she have karma for that? Yes, I'm sure she will. But I don't think it's going to be that extravagant because I think she was guided in that direction. I think that she was guided to go into the New Age first and then to find Jesus so that she could help everybody else who's in the New Age lost and trying to find direction to help them get there, because she's going through that process now. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are moving out of the New Age and into fundamental religion because they have experienced a lot of the negativity, the demonic stuff, because a lot of people who go into the New Age stuff do not have a divine wayshower to keep them safe, to protect them. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to say on that. Told myself I'm not going to let it go over 15 minutes. So I do believe Doreen Virtue is being divinely guided on her path. I personally found Jesus first and then went into the New Age movement, so I had his protection. Doreen did not, but she is moving out of it now and she's finding him. Give her a minute to figure it out and to pull it all together. I saw some of her books. When her books first started coming out, I was already well into my awakening process. So I looked at them to see if I could glean anything from it, and they weren't for me. They didn't feel right. They didn't feel good. I thought to myself, well, they might have some good information for some other people. But yeah, no, not me. But she's pulling it together. I feel, really, I really, really do, that she is being divinely guided in this. Because what we are here to do is to find the truth inside of ourselves and not to be led astray by some other religion. We don't need any more religions in our world. We have enough of them. We need to find the answers inside of ourselves. And as we do that, we need a divine protector to keep us safe from the negative energies that are out there, because there are negative energies out there. We live in a world of duality. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to be afraid of it. I am not afraid of it. I have faced demons, literally faced them, and I'm not afraid of them. And it's just like anything else, you know, if you're afraid of the dark, then you go into the dark, literally, into the night, and you have to desensitize yourself to it. And then you eventually learn that there's nothing in the dark. You can walk out of your house at night because nothing out there is going to hurt you. The same with spiders. I used to have a big fear of spiders, and I desensitized myself to it so that I don't freak out. I still don't want them crawling on me right now, but they don't freak me out like they used to, or my fear of heights. And anybody who has a fear of heights or snakes or spiders or rodents or whatever, you can relate to that. It's all about getting past our fears. Once we get past our fears, we start to become free. So, and religions keep us in fear, and we don't need to be in fear. So, with that said, the awakening process, your psychic centers are going to open. You need a divine protector. Trust me, you need a divine protector. During your awakening process, you should be questioning every one that comes to you. All the information that comes to you during your awakening process, you should question. Where is this coming from? And is this in divine truth? This is God's truth. And give Doreen Virtue a chance to pull it all together, because I really do believe she's being divinely guided in this. Okay, with that said, I wish you all a very blessed week. I will try and do another video tomorrow on the importance of baptism. Love you all. Good night.